Everybody, welcome to part 2 of the cosine law. We're trying to find a missing angle when you're given all three sides, which is very important. You have to have all three. Now, sometimes the question will tell you to find a specific angle, but if it just says find the missing angles, question mark, I always suggest going for the largest angle, which is always opposite to the longest side, right? And I kind of treat it like Pythagorean theorem, and like the 20 would be the hypotenuse. Now, the formula is supposed to be c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cos c. Notice, by the way, this is a lowercase c in the front here. But these are different letters. So all we do is we say, all right, we're looking for the angle t. So my side that's opposite is going to be 20 squared equals 10 squared plus 16 squared. Does that look familiar? Kind of like the Pythagorean theorem, right? But now we have to add that extra slack term, which is 2 times 10 times 16 cos. And here's where you have to put the angle. In this case would be angle T, but I don't know what it is, so I'm just going to call it capital T. And that's what I'm looking for in my final step. So you're going to have to do a couple of steps along the way to keep things honest. And we're going to end up, our final step is going to be to find the inverse cos of an ugly number. So 20 squared is equal to 100 squared plus 16 squared is 356. Try and get that done in one shot. Same thing with this multiplication here. Order of operations is really important here. You want to make sure that you don't subtract these two numbers right now, because it's multiplied, the 320 is multiplied by the cos of t. So we have three terms here. The first goal is to get the 320 cos t by itself. But you'll notice I told you to watch out for negatives, because watch what happens when I bring the 356 to the other side. It's going to be subtracted. But don't lose this negative on the 320. That's going to be important at the end. So 400 minus 356 is 44, equals negative 320 cos t. Now normally I would skip this step, but let's just show it here, and I'll change the color of this. I'm going to divide by negative 320 on this side and negative 320 on the other side. Really important, because you have to recognize that on the left you're going to wind up with a negative answer after we do this division, and it's usually a really ugly decimal. All right. Now here I chose example that would be not so bad. It's got 4 decimal places, 0.1375, and on the right side, I mean, the 320s are gone, and it's a positive cos t over here. Let me make that t a little bit bigger to remind you it's capital. You need to get the t by itself by doing the inverse cos, which on the calculator is cos to the negative 1 button. But basically we go second cos of this decimal number, negative 0.1375. And that's going to give us the value for t. Now remember, if you've got this number in the display already, after doing those calculations, when you did the 44 divided by negative 320, all you have to do is second cos second answer, and that will find the cos of whatever was in the display, which 97.9, which is actually an estimated number. It's got decimals going on forever, and this is the measure of t, which is the angle in degrees. Now the reason that this angle came out to be more than 90 degrees, which means it's going to be an obtuse angle, is because in this point here we were looking for the inverse cos of a negative. And when you're finding the inverse cos of a negative number, it's going to come out to be over 90. You don't really need to know all that, but just to realize that this picture is really not very accurate, is it? Because this angle is supposed to be 98 when I round it degrees. So hopefully that's going to be all the information you need. As I say, the algebra here is a little bit messier. Try to make sure you remember which stuff is on which side, okay, when you're doing these calculations. When you bring something across that's added or subtracted, you change the sign. But when you divide on the other side, as I did in this step, you divide by exactly the number you see there, negative 320. And of course, once you have found that angle, 98 degrees, you can find out the other two angles using the law of sines, or you could even use the law of cosines if you like it. Hopefully this is helping, and have a good day. Thank you.